Well, hello, everybody. It's another episode of Carolina Rides, our once every couple of weeks look into the car community across the Western Carolinas and in some cases beyond. We have got some special guests on today. We are going to be talking about a show that's coming up in June. Actually, it runs from 11th to the 14th, not just a show, but it's several other events. And well, I've got the people who can talk to us about that. Ricky Siegel and Steve Ham join me today from the Highlands Motoring Festival. How you doing?
Good morning. Doing well. Thank you.
Okay. So we knows who. So everybody knows who's who. Introduce yourself and tell you what your role is with the Motoring Festival.
I'm Ricky Siegel. I'm the current chairman of the Highlands Motoring Festival.
I'm Steve Ham. I'm past chairman and active on the committee. Yeah.
Now, how long have you guys been involved with the festival? Since its inception?
Steve has been around for a long time.
Yeah, I joined the crew in the 2011 range and progressed through the committee, chaired it for several years.
This is my 5th year.
He's been on board for several years too.
So how did you guys get involved?
Oh, wow. Well, Steve, you can talk about how you got into it. Mine was a lot later.
Back in those days, the small group that was putting on the local car show was looking for help, and I was recruited into the team. It's been a pretty exciting experience ever since.
The past chair, Mark Schmar, who's we call the Wrangler. He's the guy that curates all the cars, gathers all these cars, accepts them for the show. Approached me about 5 years ago. He said, "Ricky, would you like to be on the committee?" I said, "Gee, I'd really like to. I love cars. I got cars, and it should be a lot of fun." He says, "Okay, you're in charge of the food." I said, "What?" Anyway, I did the food for a couple of years and then passed it off. And then at that point, the committee asked me to chair. So I said, "Okay." Glad to do it.
So now how did a place like Highlands end up with what is basically kind of like a concours event?
Go back to 2007.
Yeah. Well, we started as a local car show where there was very little preparation. We got some space to have the show, and cars would just arrive, pay $35, go park on the show field, and we had 124 cars that first year, which is a pretty big number for a town like Highlands. And then over the years, Highlands built up its park area, which became a spectacular space for holding a car show or a concourse event. And each year we just kept getting a little bit better. And
just started out as if you got it, bring it kind of event. Town square show, but the guys were really committed and they really wanted to increase the quality, and it's really grown into what it is now. I mean, I think we're a one-of-a-kind car show in which the cars are curated and judged. You don't just show up. We do have a Sunday event. It's if you have it, bring it. But it's grown from that small thing to something a lot more quality. And we don't do some of the things that some of the other car shows do. We don't charge for you to walk into the show. We don't charge our applicants to bring their cars. We live on donations and sponsorships.
Tell me a little bit about who's helping you out in terms of the sponsorships. And also, while we're at it, I know there's a charitable aspect of this too. Go into that.
Steve, you want to talk about the sponsors?
Yeah, we've got probably 7 or 8 premier and platinum sponsors, including Porsche North America and Flow Motors. They partner up and give us a major sponsorship. Berkshire Hathaway, local real estate office, has been very supportive, one of our earliest sponsors. Ferrari of Atlanta has been one of our longtime sponsors.
We have one financial group that is a big sponsor of ours, Hickory Ridge Wealth Management, and a lot of smaller sponsors that really help us along. And that all adds up to none of us on the committee that have anything to do with putting on this show take any money from it. Every donation that we get goes directly to the nonprofits that we support. And that's the Literacy Learning Center of Highlands, Community Care Clinic, and Reach of Macon County.
So all of those are human needs-based charities. And we're able to raise substantial money, over $100,000 a year that we contribute to those.
Wow.
And that makes us very popular with the local politicians and the city commission. In turn, they give us free use of a very spectacular public space for our 4 days of events. So we don't have to pay a country club $100,000 to rent their space and have a car show. We get that for free, and we give the $100,000 to local charities. So it's a formula that's really worked well for us. I don't know if it worked well for others, but our team of volunteers are all friends, they're all car enthusiasts that do this to have car fun, not to try and raise money. That wasn't the initial intent, although it's become an important aspect of what we do. So we have volunteers that just come out of nowhere. And one of the limitations of our Highlands versus other venues is we don't have a lot of room. We've started out with a lot more space than we have now. Highlands has been building, and we're limited to about 85 cars. So several years ago, we made the decision to go for quality rather than quantity. So instead of having 125 drive-ins, whatever people bring in, we have a very strenuous selection process. We'll have over 150 people apply to get those 85 positions on our show field. Additionally, we try and tell a story with our featured theme or our featured mark. And we will go out and recruit cars and find owners to bring those cars. So we're out soliciting owners. And as we do that, we make some really new friends, some celebrity friends. This year, we were trying to find a Jaguar or an SS one of the early Jaguar iterations. And that put us in contact with Wayne Carini, who owns one of those cars. And in the process of talking to Wayne Carini, it was suggested maybe he should come to Highlands Motoring Festival with his car and be our grand marshal. And that's all come to fruition. It's happened.
The event has really gained respect and love from the town because of what we do as far as giving our money away. So the sanitation department, they really take good care of us. The police department are our friends. The town board actually gave us some extra space this year to make up for a little space that we lost. So
shutting down some public roads.
Our relationship with the town, our relationship with the merchants, and our relationship with the town and the citizens of Highlands is just, it's become fantastic because it is a great car show.
You actually answered my question as to how Mr. Carini got involved. I was going to ask that. Now I know. So check that off the list. So now let's talk about what's actually happening. Again, this is the 11th through the 14th of June. Kind of walk us through some of the events and some of what people can expect who might want to get involved.
Easy enough. We have, starting on Thursday, the 11th, we have 3 groups of 25 cars leaving out of Founders Park on guided, curated routes, and we'll serve them lunch. On Thursday night, we're having a panel discussion with Wayne Carini, Bill Warner, and Corky Coker at the Performing Arts Center on Thursday night. We still have some tickets available for that. It's going to be fantastic. Friday, we send out 3 more groups of 25 on another driving tour, a little bit shorter. And we also have a special sponsored Porsche group that we sponsor. They are big sponsors for us, so we send them out on a guided drive. Saturday is the biggie. Saturday is classics.
Forget about Friday night.
Oh,
you got a parade.
We did that yesterday too. We did it yesterday. The parade is yours, Steve. Tell
Okay,
them.
just quite by accident, over the years, we've turned into a Friday evening event where the town helps us put on a Main Street parade. So we line up the cars all afternoon and Friday. Anybody that wants to be in the parade brings their car to the park. We get them staged. And then at 6 o'clock, we make a pass on Main Street Highlands. and it's become a tradition. Highlands loves parades. They have a big Christmas parade here, and this is their chance to have a summer parade. And the town, hundreds of people will show up on Main Street. They bring out their chairs and their dogs and their kids and cameras. And so we have a fun little Friday night event.
Last year we had over 100 cars go down Main Street and come back to the park. It was pretty cool.
Nice. Let's pick it up then. You got the parade now Saturday. That's the big event, the big show.
Classics in the Park, and it's a juried car show. We'll stage the cars early that morning by time slots because it's a very, very unique space and it's tight. So cars have to come in at a particular time, get set up. Then we have our judging starts around 9:30, and we'll try to announce the winners about 1:30 in the afternoon. And then it's an amazing thing. We really try to shower our applicants pretty good on the judging. And Saturday night is our dinner. We're having dinner with Wayne Carini at the Wildcat Cliffs Country Club. And then Sunday morning, it's high octane. If you got it, bring it. It's almost like the fourth car show because we have the parade. People come just to see the cars take off on the drives, and it makes for a great weekend. And then we go home and rest for about 2 weeks, and then we start all over again.
For next year.
It's better to be busy and to be successful, especially when you're successful. A little now, for those who are interested, obviously the spots in the show taken up because that's all curated. For those, and as you mentioned earlier, for those who want to come and view the cars, that's no cost. Who is doing the lap of the mountains? Is that something that is the cars that are in the show? Or is that something that there are spots for that people can do? And if that's already filled up, is there something they can do for next year?
That is sold out.
This is a great story.
Yeah, it's a paid event. And we actually have 300 slots. We have 3 drive groups with 2 people per car, 2 days of that. So we end up with 300 slots, and we make restaurant reservations and have it all well orchestrated.
We opened the slots for sale on January 12th of this year. By January 24th, we were full. And we have a waiting list, but it's become a very, very popular event. And it is a combination, as you asked, of people who are showing in the park and people who just want to be here and drive on our tours. It's become very, very popular.
Really, any car is eligible to be in these one laps. And it's not terribly expensive. It's under $300, and that includes meals and hats and posters and there's a lot of value there, and that's why that sells out so quickly.
All right, that's cool stuff. What we're going to do is we're going to take a short break, and when we come back, we're going to talk with Ricky and Steve about some of the cars that have been some of these events and some of the cars that are behind them right now as well. Stay with Carolina Rides. We'll be right back. Everybody, Ricky Siegel and Steve Ham back with me on Carolina Rides. Talk a little bit more about the events around the Highlands Motoring Festival. Of course, you guys mentioned the curated event and how many cars are going to be. What is the geographical region you generally draw from? Is it just the Southeast? Is everybody coming from a farther away way?
They're coming from all over. It's hard to pin that down. I mean,
it's no longer a local car show.
I mean, Wayne is coming down. Wayne's car is from Connecticut, if I'm not mistaken.
That sounds right. Yeah.
We have had cars sent from Europe to be in our show over the years, like the BMW featured year, they sent a car over from Europe. The factory did.
We had the Peugeot that won Best of Show that came from Tampa. Came from Tampa, didn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the Tampa Museum.
Tampa Museum. We tell our local people that people will travel hundreds or thousands of miles to go to museums to see some of these cars. But on June 13th, we have those museums sending cars to Highlands now to be in our show.
What are some of, over the past few years, some of the more impressive vehicles that you've seen, whether they were a Best in Show winner or not? Just some of those, wow, I can't believe this is here.
I think our big moment, we talked about this, was back in 2015, we had Mercedes-Benz as our featured mark. And we wanted to get a Gullwing, a 300 SL Gullwing from 1955. And there was actually one here locally that we knew we could get, and another gentleman that's a summer resident that had one down in Florida. And we got those lined up. So we had 2 gull wings. This was going to be really special. But on the morning of the show, I looked over and here comes a red gull wing down the road joining the crowd. So we had 3 gull wings in our local little car show. And that kind of made some pretty big waves
Made a
out
splash.
there.
Yeah.
Made a big splash.
That's a lot of money in one spot right there. Is there
Yeah.
anything going forward? Is there any vehicle that you're, because you mentioned you were looking for a particular Jaguar, for example, this year. Is there anything that you can think of that you're like, hey, this is what we want to shoot for in coming years?
We really haven't come up with what we're going to shoot for next year. That's something we, even before we finish this show, we've been talking about it, because deciding a mark is a big deal. But no, I don't think we're there yet.
Right. For 2026, it occurred to us many, many months ago that it was going to be the 250th anniversary of the American Revolution. So we decided to base a theme on that rather than have a featured mark. We were going to have this featured theme. And the notion was, it's America versus England. Let's do it with cars. So it would be Corvettes versus Jaguars. That seemed like a natural topic and get some really cool cars from those camps. And that's what we've done. We've had a very successful recruiting and wrangling year of getting these cars. And we have some examples here behind us. You want us to?
Yeah, I was about to say that's a good segue into, because I noticed there's at least a couple Corvettes behind you right now. Give us a little tour. And are these cars that people can expect to see that weekend?
Well, in all fairness, the red Corvette is mine, and it's a survivor.
It's not good enough to
And
be in
it's
our
not,
concourse,
believe it or
but
not,
we will have other examples.
we're going to have
Okay.
some fine Corvettes on the show field.
Sitting next to it is a fabulous C-type Jaguar
It's
recreation.
a historical recreation.
Very fun to look at. That will be on our show field along with 2 other recreations, Jaguar recreations of cars that really aren't practical to bring to our show field, but with our featured theme, we like to tell a story, and we really need these cars like the C-type and the XJ13 to tell the story. So we've allowed these recreations. And then on the far end is a lovely XK120 that lives here in Highlands.
Now, how many, now, you mentioned we're looking at cars from all over with some of these. How many of them are actually local? Because in this discussion, you've mentioned that there have been a couple of these cars that have been located in the vicinity. What percentage of what shows up at the show is going to be kind of local?
Probably 10%. We've used them up in over the years.
Okay.
But what's interesting is more than half of our cars, our 85 cars, will be transported here. Highlands is a small town. Where do you put 40 transported? These are the kind of logistics that we get into as we try and grow. And one reason we've gone from quantity to quality.
Yeah,
But quality means more transporters.
yeah, you can't just leave the transporter. Yeah, you can't just leave the transporters parked on Highway 64.
Oh, no. No.
We have one volunteer who has a team of 3 others that he is strictly involved and responsible for placing the trailers as they come into town, and so that we can get the cars to the show field.
And this
It's a
involves
job.
security.
It's a job.
We hire Highlands off-duty police officers to give 24-hour protection for these transporters and the contents in the transporters.
Nice.
But we have the help of the local American Legion post. They also stand by some of the cars earlier in the day. I mean, none of those guys are getting any younger. So we just use them from like 6 o'clock in the afternoon till 10 o'clock at night.
So over the years, we've had some other extremely interesting cars. Type 35B Bugatti, 1930,
Whoa.
that finished 2nd place at Monte Carlo.
The 917.
We had the Porsche year many years ago. Bob Ingram moved. Bob Ingram is a noted Porsche collector who's passed away now, but many years ago, he moved to Highlands and kind of brought us into the Porsche world. And we had Porsche as our featured mark in 2022 and had a pair of 917s on the field along with 904, 906, 910, 356 is early production Porsches. It's quite astonishing, the collection of Porsches that
It
we
was
put out here.
amazing.
Yeah, this makes your garage almost look embarrassing, right? Hey, we'll start with Ricky because you mentioned the red Corvette is yours. Give me a little snapshot as to what got you interested in cars and what led you down into Corvette world.
When I was about 10 years old, my dad had a friend, and I believe he either had an XK120 or an XK140. I was too young, I don't remember. But they took me for a ride in that car. And from that time, it was roadsters for me. And I've had, what, nine or 10, always a roadster. I'm not into coupes. And always manual transmissions, Alfa Romeos, Triumphs, Austin Healey's, Alpine, a couple of Corvettes. They're just fun. It's just kind of makes me remember when I was young, which is a long time ago.
We don't need to go into that. Steve, what's your car story?
Well, I grew up in Fort Lauderdale. I was greatly impressed by a Porsche 904 that lived next door. We vacationed in Highlands in the summers. And as a young adult, I decided to move here because I love the road so much. It's a driving experience to live in Highlands. So that's why I'm here. And over the years, I've had a number of Porsches, BMWs, and such to enjoy these roads with.
What would be for both of you? I don't care who talks first. If that garage there was to be filled with a dream car, what would it be?
Oh, wow.
We would need several, actually. We want one that's a show car, one that we can drive, one we can let our wives drive.
That's a toughie. You know, the artistry of cars, you know, we're looking at Jaguar and we're looking at Corvette this year. One of the most beautiful shapes of cars that I've ever seen is the XKE series. And they're just gorgeous. I've driven one once. And if I had, because that's a car I could drive. I mean, if you take Carini's SS, you're not going to drive that around. But I would get into an XKE and drive it every day, or a 120. I like the Jaguars.
I think I'm going for the 1966 Ferrari 365
That'd be nice.
California Cabriolet.
You're going to drive it every day?
I would drive it every day.
There we go.
Okay, we're getting close to the end here. So before we wrap up, I do want to, one more time, go through for people who are watching or people who are interested, even if they just see this on social media, interested in coming to the show. Give us the little elevator pitch. What makes it so cool to hang out in Highlands for the day?
Highlandsmotoringfestival.com. Everything you need to know, pictures of past shows and so forth. It's America's greatest free car show.
One of the beauties.
84-page show guide that's free. Parking is free.
One of the main beauties of the car show in June is if you go around the Southeast and it's 90 degrees someplace, we're at 4,100 feet. It's cool here. It's comfortable. The ladies that come with their husbands, they don't want to spend the whole time at the car show. We've got shops and restaurants. Highlands is a destination all in and of itself. It's a beautiful place to be. It's a great place for a car show.
A unique town deserves a unique car show. So that's what we've done.
That sounds great. And hopefully I can get to see you guys up there that weekend, particularly on the Saturday. Ricky, Steve, thanks once again for joining me here on Carolina Rides, and hope to see you soon.
Thank you.
And that's Ricky and Steve from the Highlands Motoring Festival. I do want to point out before I go that if you're already watching this on YouTube, you already know where we are. If you're watching us on WSPA Plus, you can find us on YouTube. Our channel is at Carolina Rides WSPA. Also, we're on Facebook and Instagram. We've had some pictures and some video from some other shows. We have some notices about shows that are coming up. And we'll also let you know ahead of time what's coming up on Carolina Rides and some of of what we're working on. You can find us on Facebook at Carolina Rides and on Instagram, Carolina Rides Official, WSPA. Once again, I'd like to thank Ricky Siegel and Steve Ham for joining me to talk about the Highlands Motoring Festival. Once again, that is in June. The whole festival, all the festivities go from the 11th through the 14th. The main show is on the 13th, and I kind of hope to see you there as well. Until next time, goodbye and drive safely. Take care.